Hey guys, Ray back with another video. So the Democrats, what are they up to now? The Democrats are working hard trying to paint themselves as a party that really kind of gives a damn about Black America. And it is most humorous to me to especially watch like the fake symbolic gestures, of the black fist, and they busting out with the kente cloth masks that we now know were made originally by the Indians. So, the Indians will come on out and take credit for their stuff. And, this is funny to me. You're seeing all these fists, everybody got fists up and all of this stuff. After all these years of mass incarceration, all these years, mass incarceration. And I specifically remember also there was a black agenda of reparations on the table not too long ago. And the Democrats were like running, like damn near running to kill themselves to get away from, really responding to that question, explaining what reparations would look like to them, how it would benefit the black community, and, like really standing by it and supporting reparations. That's why I found all this black fist stuff so hilarious. That's why I made that video. And I know some people from the Black Power thing probably didn't understand, but it's almost like they're pimping out the black community, the Black Power community, or what it stands for their own little purposes. And if I was a Black Power member, I would not want to see them using my flag the way they're using it. It's like pimping and hoeing it out, to say it that way, because I don't have any other terminology for it. But that's what's going on with that. So, I don't know. It's just like, and now the whole big thing is because of what happened with George Floyd, and supposedly all of the names that they mentioned, like Trayvon Martin, and I don't even know if they mentioned Laquan McDonald, and all of the people, Sean Bell, all of the people, so many, you can't name them all. You would be all day. They were mentioning them, and Miss Pelosi is basically saying that now the big thing they're gonna do to help the black community out is defund the police department. Okay, and the reason they want to defund the police department is because it's too hard for them to just prosecute and convict officers who abuse their power. That's hard for them to do for some reason. Just say, hey, you're fired and you're going to jail. You're going to do life for taking somebody's life unjustifiably. That's hard for people to do when it comes to black America, right? So what Miss Pelosi and the rest of the Democrats want to do is to double down on what Kamala Harris already did. Kamala Harris came out and strengthened the lynching laws. Like, she doubled down on that. Now, Miss Pelosi wants to triple down on what Kamala Harris did. She also mentioned something about body cameras, whatever, which we already have, that have not been beneficial in no kind of way. But now she's talking about body cameras. Now, she didn't speak to any enhancement of the body cameras. She didn't say that, okay, now the FBI is going to create a special unit and now they're going to be monitoring, the video footage from officers when, things look funny, or just monitoring them all day, the footage or whatever. She didn't say anything like that. She didn't say there was going to be any new innovative way that they were going to use this technology. So to me, it's just more of the same. She also talked about the ban on chokeholds. Now, here in New York City, the chokehold law has supposed to be in effect, or the ban on chokeholds, for like over a decade now. Over a decade, and they broke that with Eric Garner, and probably more that we may not even know about. Just think about that, not on camera. So we just really don't know. We don't have all the information. But as far as the documented, the chokehold was used on Eric Garner. Okay, that's documented. So it's a ban on it. So how does that work? Because that's all I heard her say. I'm really tired of reading these bills because they're never a clean bill. It's always a dirty bill, especially when it comes to doing something for black America. It's always a dirty bill. It's always something. And what I mean by dirty bill, if you don't understand that, that's when a party takes all these little things and stuffs them inside of this bill, knowing that the other party is never going to go for it. And it's just a ploy to make it look like, see, we tried to do this, but they just wouldn't let us do it. That's the biggest performance that the Democrats do over and over and over again. Well, we try, and they know when they put certain things in bills, Republicans are never gonna go for it. but they stuff it in there just to make it appear as if they're doing something, and it's what, uneventful, right? Completely uneventful. So that's what they plan on doing. More of nothing for you. It would be so easy to go back to they don't like to work and sit down and work. It seems like a lot of them are lawyers, and they like, I don't know what kind of law is exciting to me. It's something I've always wanted to be a part of. It's so exciting to me. So I'm like, you got cases, you got something. This is exciting to work on black people. I would love to file a writ on behalf of black people. You have a I'm saying you, but me, you, us. We have a fascinating case. And it's like so much evidence. It's how do you say, a preponderance of evidence. It's too easy to prove. But I don't know. But yeah, so you got celebrities too. It's another part of the game. Now you got celebrities who are bailing out anyone out of jail who was just down with the riot. But has anyone taken the time out to really pay attention to the 3 men and the young woman that was killed during those riots? Now, I'm talking about the black people. Now, there was an older guy. I'm going to have a picture of him and his name underneath. There was an older guy who used to be a police officer. He was a retired police officer, and he was just trying to protect his friend's business. And he was shot and killed for that. Now, he wasn't shot and killed by the police because the police weren't robbing the business. The looters and the rioters were. Right? So they shot and killed him. There was another black man. I don't even know. I'm going to have his image up. I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to other YouTubers to do all of that. But I know that he was shot and killed. And it wasn't by the police. Right? Then you have football. I think he's an ex-football player. And I would like to know more about that because that just seems so weird. He's an ex-football player. I'm sorry I don't know his name, but it'll be in the video. He went downstairs. This is the story that I've heard, that he went downstairs and immediately upon him arriving downstairs, he was shot and killed. Like on the spot like that. So that's just weird. I'm wondering, like, did somebody call him? Did somebody know he was coming down? Did somebody say, hey, come downstairs? Like, certain situations you just want to know a little bit more about or whatever. But, rest in peace to those people. Also, it was a female mulatto girl. She's a mulatto girl, black, biracial. I say mulatto, a biracial young lady who was participating in the protest. She wanted to peacefully protest. And the story is, because I don't know if this is to be fact. So allegedly, the story was she stumbled upon a protest that she wasn't feeling. Now, the person, whoever she spoke to, knows why she wasn't feeling that particular protest. But she wasn't, feeling that particular group, rather, not the protest, but the group that was going to be protesting. She didn't want to really hang out with that group. Like, she heard or saw something she didn't want to be involved in. Now, what they're saying is, upon her saying, okay, I don't really want to rock with this group, I'm going to leave. So they saying she went and got in her car and she was shot in her head upon leaving that group that was going to protest. So I don't know how much of this is true or not. I'm saying allegedly, but these are the stories that are. But these people are dead, and so far it's not looking like the police killed them. So celebrities are just bailing everybody out. I think you might, hopefully they're doing some research, but then again, that's the Democratic wave. So they're probably, just going to support everything Democrat, which is fine. Which is fine for them, because they have to live with that on their conscience. In all actuality, when you look at what President Trump has done for the black community, he's done more for the black community than any president since Abraham Lincoln. Not only he did not just address us, he actually came with policies that would really have a tremendous effect on our community if we rock with him. School choice is one of them. That's a beautiful thing, because for so many moms, they didn't have that. And you had to end up going to a zone school. And a lot of us, we were socially promoted. They ended social promotion like by the time my oldest daughter got to school. That's when they ended social promotion, and she's like about 26. Okay? So they imagine that all you had to do was attend school. So this is why you have people who have gaps in understanding, and even though they're adult in body, but mentally they're not all the way there because they were socially promoted through school. So they didn't learn how to break down concepts and how to resolve conflict without violence and stuff like that. So you come into contact with them, you just got to get buck. I had a situation like that earlier, but that's not important or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, this is what the Democrats have done to our people. I can't see one good reason why anybody will vote for a Democrat, but especially a black person. And then now they put Joe Biden. I don't know how disrespectful they're gonna be to you. First, when you went to them about reparations, they ran, zigzagged. I don't know what reparations is. I'll do reparations for everybody. All of this disrespect. All of that disrespect. And then Joe Biden gets to come out after he done called you the N-word, called you animals, made sure that he crafted a crime bill so harsh that you would surely spend, your whole youth and you wouldn't get out till you're like a full grown man for, mistakes, non-violent mistakes that you've made. So I don't see how anybody black could support that. You have to be extremely ignorant. I'm going to go Candace on it. You got to be extremely ignorant and illiterate to go to your slave master and say, I'd rather be with you than go to the pathway of freedom. Okay, to the north. Look at the north. Follow the North Star, y'all. Stop. I don't know what they doing to y'all. Follow the North Star, y'all. That's what we supposed to do. Don't get caught up in this Democrat, because these are the same people who let the Klan loose on you. And they're not outraged. I just told you about 4 black people who died. The Democrats aren't outraged about that. Antifa ain't outraged about that. They're not outraged about that. And who did that to those people? They're not outraged about those businesses that they burned down in Atlanta. They're not outraged about that. Not outraged at all. So there's a lot of little crazy stuff going on. You just got to be aware, man. You have to be aware, and you have to keep listening and watching everything. George Floyd, this thing, he's not the only person to have suffered and lost life at the hands of the police. He's not. And if you really don't get a civil rights law stating that if a police officer murders a black man or someone from the black community, or however you want to word that, and he should pay with his life for that, then you're not doing it. You're not talking about doing anything. Defunding police and more body cameras and banning chokeholds and doubling, tripling down and quadrupling down on the lynching law is not going to stop that element from doing what they want to do. They'll just find another more creative way to kill them. Right? Because it's like, okay, now we can't use the guns. Now we're going to, do this. Okay, we can't do that. What could we do? Oh, we could do this. Or put them in the car, turn on the gas and leave them in the, it'll just be something else. Because when somebody hates you and wants to brutalize you, they just going to do it. It's nothing you could do about that. You're not going to end racism and take racism out of people's hearts with love. They the Care Bears out there, all the stupidity. That's not going to do it. What you need is a law to punish people so that they see, oh, if I do this to a black person, that's what's going to happen to me. Like, nobody's going to have my back for me doing this ruthless, vicious, disgusting act upon a defenseless person. Okay? And by no means, I don't defend criminals and pedophiles. And a lot of these people that's, out here, they for all of that. So you got to look at that too. I'm not for criminals, pedophiles and stuff like that. I'm not for those kind of people. And I hate the fact that a pedophile will go to jail uneventful without a scratch on them. Do they little 6-7 months, get out and go offend again and go back to jail uneventful with nothing happening to them. But you will take 2 teenagers that nobody else is talking about. They had a little spotlight on the news, but nobody is really talking about these 2 teenagers who was terrorized by these officers because they were probably in a state of shock in the car, not knowing what to do because they were very, very young. And what the police decided to do to those people was terrible. That's what the Klan used to do. The Klan do stuff like that. That's exactly what the Klan would do. Bust open your windows. That's what they used to do. Bust open your little home. They had the little wooden homes. They would bust open the windows and throw a Molotov cocktail up in there and start. They was little wooden homes, so it was easy to burn. So when automatically that traumatized me so bad when I seen them breaking those windows like that, and then they hog tied that young black sister like nothing, just like hog tied her on the ground. I'm seeing black women getting pulled by their braids and whatever and swung around and thrown down, and all that stuff is traumatizing to me. And nobody is saying nothing about that. Democrats aren't saying, hey, the violence towards this. They're not saying none of that. You know why they don't care? They're like, oh, casualties of war. The people who died, casualties of war. If you're not able to put your business back together, casualties of war. Meanwhile, people can put people's addresses out because they want to donate to somebody. Now, nobody did that under Obama. A lot of people, the Klan was mad as hell. Obama was in office. Get this nigga out of it. But nobody did what y'all are doing today to people. Nobody did that. Because I know I have some Democrats that like to listen to. And karma is a mug. I'm telling you. It is a mug. It is a mug, and it's going to come for you. And you support Joe Biden. He wanted to say you ain't black. Well, if you support Joe Biden, you don't want to be free. You want to be a slave. And till the plantation, you shall return under Joe Biden. I'm voting Trump 2020. My name is Ray Ray. I like to bring awareness to conversation in hopes that it sparks change. And I'm out.